Hi guys, my name is Alix and I did my presentation about Germany. Germany is a country in Europe, if anyone was wondering. Now let's look at the German culture. Let's start from the beginning. The Germans are a Germanic people who as an ethnicity emerged during the Middle Ages. Originally part of the Holy Roman Empire, around 300 independent German states emerged during its decline after the Peace of Westphalia in 1648, ending the 30 Years' War. These states eventually formed into modern Germany in the 19th century. The German ethnicity is linked to Germanic tribes of antiquity in Central Europe. The early Germans originated on the North German plain as well as southern Scandinavia. By the 2nd century BC, the number of Germans was significantly increasing, and they began expanding into Eastern Europe. The migration period people who coalesced into a German ethnicity were 5 Germanic tribes of which I cannot pronounce. These 5 tribes are considered as the major groups to take part in the formation of the Germans. Conflict between the Germanic tribes and the forces of Rome under Julius Caesar forced major Germanic tribes to retreat to the east bank of the Rhine. The Germanic people during the migration period came into contact with other people, in the case of the population settling in the territory of modern Germany. They encountered Celts to the south and Balts and Slavs towards the east, which is what they are called in Germany. By 55 BC, the Germans had reached the Danube River and had either assimilated or otherwise driven out the others who had lived there, and had spread west into what is now Belgium and France. The 30 Years' War, which was a series of conflicts fought mainly in the territory of modern Germany, the Napoleonic Wars, which were the cause of the final dissolution of the Holy Roman Empire and ultimately the cause for the quest for a German nation-state in the 19th century called German nationalism. 3 years before the Nazi era, there was roughly 94 million people all over the world claiming German ancestry, or about 4.5% of the world population at the time. Alright, enough of how they settled in and became Germany, let's talk about their world social class and social system. West Germany completed the transition from an industrial economy to one dominated by the services sector in the 1970s, and by the late 1980s, this sector employed 2/3 of the workforce. When the Berlin Wall fell, East Germany still had not made this transition, because more of the workforce was engaged in the industry and agriculture than in the services sector. Rainier Geisler, a German sociologist, has examined this country's social structure in the light of the economic changes that have taken place in the post-war era. Because of the growth of the services sector and the doubling of state employees since 1950, the German social system is not run by just a man or a woman. People are separated into class. There is an upper class, a middle class, and a lower class. The upper class consists of royal families, scholars, administrators, and other wealthy families. The lower class consists of the working class, while the middle is just in the middle. This was mainly the working class, but of higher ranks. Now, what are some do's and don'ts when visiting Germany? Punctuality. Do not be late even for a minute. Arriving late is an insult. Having your hands in your pockets. Keep your hands out of your pockets while speaking. They consider it bad behavior. Chewing gum. Keep the gum in your pocket where the hands used to be. The OK sign, the American OK sign, is considered an obscene gesture calling a German a bad name. Blowing your nose. Make sure you leave the room or find a private area. When opening windows, do not open a window to get a breeze. Germans fear a draft may lead to a fatal disease. With flowers, they're a great gift. Red is for romance and yellow roses are also safe. For the first drink, as a guest, wait for the host to offer a toast before the first sip. When wanting to date in Germany, there are many considerations, such as German men will always initiate a date with a woman. The man asks the woman out and is also expected to pay for the date. There are no set rules or customs for how the man will meet up with the woman for their date. German dating culture sees being late as inexcusably rude. In Germany, punctuality is almost considered to be a trademark. It is likely that the date would not take place if the man is late picking up or meeting the woman or late bringing her home. When getting married in Germany, the Federal Foreign Office regards marriage as a legally binding contract rather than an act of love. Any valid marriage must be performed at a registry office. Priests, ministers, rabbis, or consular officers may not perform a legally binding marriage. Only an official registrar can do so. Now, there are some standard requirements when wanting to get married according to Germany's registry office. Both partners must be present, each has to provide a birth certificate, both parties need a passport as well as proof of residence, the minimum age for marriage is 18, but with parental consent, one party may be younger than 18, but not younger than 16 years of age. You might have to consult a family court. When it comes to recognizing a divorce in Germany, things get a little complicated. They strongly recommend you ask a lawyer specializing in family law. If both parties agree to the divorce, they have to be separated for at least 1 year before the divorce is finalized. If one partner opposes, the law usually requires 3 years of separation. At the end, reading about getting a divorce, their statement was, "Of course, we do hope that your marriage in Germany will have a happier ending." That's it. Now to burial. Although burial is still popular, over the last few decades, Germans increasingly have been opting for cremation. For Germany overall, about 50% now choose cremation. Those Germans who choose burial over cremation usually have a limited stay in the cemetery. Because of space limitations, most German cemeteries allow their guests to rest in peace for only a maximum of 10 to 30 years. Then they have to be moved for another deceased soul to come in. Now to money. The currency in Germany is obviously different than that of American money. It is called a euro, but it has not always been called that. From 1990 to 2002, the Deutschmark was the official currency for all of Germany. 4 series of the Deutschmark banknotes were used from 1948. In 1999, the German mark was fixed to the euro. In 1999 also, the mark was replaced by the euro, but the Deutschmark banknotes and coins remain in circulation until about 2002. Now to relate to some of the issues that Germany is facing today. After a tough 2015, the European Union, Germany, and its neighbors are facing a number of economic challenges heading into 2016. Germany continues to be the stabilizing force in the European economy. The Greek debt crisis caused major concerns for global markets during the summer of 2015. This crisis has been going on since 2010. Although the situation is calm for now, it could reignite at any time. Another issue is the Eurozone deflation. Their economy continues to be a pressing concern for Germany in 2016. Germany has the strongest and most stable economy in the Eurozone. However, that means Germany is often required to provide economic assistance to the rest of the region. Economic data released in September showed that consumer prices dropped, which took many by surprise. The drop raised concern about a slide into a deflationary environment. European leaders want to avoid deflation at all costs. This would make it difficult for European governments and businesses to repay any debts that they may have. Another issue that I found was the Syrian refugee crisis. This will be another major issue for the German economy in 2016. In 2015, they expected around 1 million Syrian refugees to come into Germany. It costed Germany an estimated minimum of $20 billion to accept and house the refugees. It had initially supported an open-door refugee policy that would allow every legitimate refugee possible to be welcomed into the country. The Paris terrorist attacks created security fears about the flood of the refugees. In addition, the significant cost of relocating the refugees will fall heavily on German shoulders. Each place around the world has different issues and problems they have to face from day to day. If we can try and understand the different cultures, it might help in better understanding the world around us today. Now, after hearing my presentation, I hope you all have a better understanding of the German culture and can take it home with you. Thank you.